So we have discussed how we can transfer charge from one body to the another body. The very first method, and we can say it is very common method of transferring charge, that is the by friction or by rubbing. The small activity you must have, or we must have done, everyone must have done this. You take some pieces of paper and a scale, that is ruler, and rub that ruler on your head, and then you can see that the pieces of paper is attracted by the ruler. Now why it is happening? Why the ruler is attracting the piece of paper? That means this method, what we have done, when we rub the ruler on our head, on your hair, there must be transfer of something which creates a force of attraction between the piece of paper and that ruler. This is nothing but it is the transfer of charge. There's a property of charge which says that charge can attract or charge can repel. Now, how they can attract and repel? So now why the ruler is attracting the pieces of paper? It depends upon the nature of charges. In our universe, in our nature, we have two types of charges. That we can say the nature of charges are of two types. First, we can say that the charge can be positive and the charge can be negative in nature. Now, how the charge arises, we'll talk about this. But in this activity, we know that the ruler is attracting the pieces of paper. That means some kind of charges are produces on these papers and we can say ruler, and that is why they're attracting them. There's a property of charge that positive charge always attract the negative charge. It is one of the property. There are many properties of charges, and it is the first property that positive charge can attract the negative charge and vice versa. That means if we have two, we can say two different kind of charges, two different kind nature of charges, they will attract each other, and that is what happening with the ruler and the pieces of paper. Now let's just talk about from where this positive and negative charge come. So to know about this, why, from where the positive and negative charges comes, now just go through your 7th and 8th class books. In the in 7th and 8th class books, you have studied that matter composite of molecules. Then further, if you break the molecules, there are atoms. In atom, we have another, we can say two more important things. First, we have a nucleus, which is positively charged, and electrons, which revolves around it, that is negatively charged. That means the positive and negative charges already present in every matter, but still it does not behave every time. When we see ordinary, no two particles attract or repel each other. Why? Because ordinarily particles, or we can say every matter, is neutral. Why? Because the total positive charge of this nucleus is always equals to the total negative charge of these electrons. And so if we have total positive charge and negative charge, if they both are equal, so the total charge on the body is zero. The body is neutral, and that is why ordinarily the bodies do not attract or repel each other. But what if we remove one electron or some electron from that body? What will happen? This body loses some of its negative charge, but we know that the positive charge is inside the nucleus. We are not touching it. That means this body becomes positively charged. So this is how the positive charge can arise on any body. Now this electron must be going somewhere. That means this electron is transferring to some body, right? So let's say this is the body. This electron is going into this body. Now initially this body was also neutral because the total negative and positive charge was equal. But now some electrons from this body, when transferred to this body, now this body becomes negative. So in this activity, you've seen that how the charge transferred, or we can say how the charge create in two bodies. This body becomes positive and this one is negative. Now let's talk about the second method of transferring charge. The second method is known as conduction. Now you must be familiar with this word conduction. We have studied this word in the chapter heat, because you know that heat can transfer by three methods. There are three modes of mode of transfer of heat. That is, first is conduction, second is convection, third is radiation. Now what happened in conduction? In conduction, the necessary condition was two body must, there must be physical contact between two bodies. Then only the heat can transfer from one body to the another body. Same thing happened with this charge also. When we want to transfer the charge from one body to the another body, there must be some physical contact between the body, we can say first body and the second body. Let's say, suppose we have two bodies, like this is the body A and suppose this is a body B. And initially, this body A was negatively charged and there is no charge on the body B. Now there is a property, or we can say there is a law how the charge transfer from the one body to the another body. Charges always flow from excess of electron to the deficiency of electron. In the, like previously I told you how the negative charge appears on a body or how the positive charge appears on a body. Positive charge appears on a body when some of the electrons come out from the body, right? So if a body is positively charged, it means that that body have some deficiency of electrons. Similarly, if a body is negatively charged, it means the body have some excess of electrons. So if we touch two bodies having a different concentration of electrons, then what will happen? Just see here. Here body A, it is a negatively charged body. It means the body A have excess of electrons, and body B, it is neutral. It means it has neither excess of electron nor deficiency of electron. It is neutral. When we connect this body with a simple conducting wire, what will happen? The electrons from the body A will transfer to the body B, because as I said, the body A have excess of electron. Now after some time, what will happen? Body A was initially it was negatively charged, it will remain negatively charged, but now body B will also become negatively charged, right? So in this process, we can say the process of conduction, similar charge produce, or we can say similar charge transfer on the another body, right? Now there is a thing that there must be some limitation in transferring of these electrons, because it can't be, it is not possible that all of these electron can transfer into the body B. There must be some limitation, like in heat. Suppose we have two bodies, the one body and body B, and this is the higher temperature and this is a lower temperature. When we connect two bodies, heat transfer from the higher body to the higher temperature body to the lower temperature body. Now when the transferring of heat stops, when both the body comes at the same temperature, right? So temperature is a quantity which decides till when the heat will flow. Similarly, there must be something which decides the flow of electrons, and the quantity is known as potential. We will discuss about what is potential in further chapters, right? So when the transfer of body will stop, when the body A and body B, the potential on body A and body B becomes equal, and that time the transferring of electron gets stops. So this is how the conduction takes place.